So yesterday I spoke a little bit about how discipline gets easier whenever you're in the right environment. And by changing your environment, it makes working hard easier. Not only through the people that you surround yourself with, but also through the different places that you go to, different environments that you put yourself in. So, today I wanted to expand a little bit on this topic and talk about what is the easiest path, the easier path to self-improvement. If I zoom back 4 years ago when I was first discovering the topic of self-improvement, like, self-improvement, da da da. And I remember listening to so many people saying like, oh yeah, self-improvement guru, self-improvement. I want to improve myself. I want to self-improve. And like the word became very quickly saturated in 2022. So when I think back to that time, what would have made it easier for me to improve myself? Now, of course, I don't regret anything that I've done, and I don't regret any way that I've taken my personal path, as it has helped me become the man I am today. So I'm not complaining and I don't regret. But in perspective, now that I look back at it, I think I could have picked the right path faster if I actually knew what I was looking for. Because when I started, I didn't really know what the fuck I was looking for. Like, I was just improving myself, like in all areas. And so by being a young man, I started at a very early age, a very small level, a very novice, noob level, you could say. And now that I think about it, it's kind of funny thinking how far I've come in the last 4 years, but I don't really want to focus too much on that. So the easier path that I could have taken to improving myself and becoming a more capable individual so that I could provide for the people I care about was definitely doing hard things. Doing harder things. Embracing the discomfort and the shit feelings that came with doing hard things and putting myself in hard positions where I had to do something or else fail. And by failing a lot of times, I managed to learn a lot from my mistakes, which is exactly what you need to be doing. So not only did I put myself in an environment where I had to fail a bunch of times in order to learn, but also I surrounded myself with the right people that would push me to do better faster. People that keep myself accountable. And by keeping yourself accountable with people that are better than you are, it's kind of like when you sign up to a martial arts gym. It's like a boxing gym or a kickboxing gym, Muay Thai gym. And of course, it's going to be people better than you are. So instead of just doing the regular classes and like just being shit like everybody else, going through the regular path, what I recommend is actually finding the one guy that is much better than you and then just fighting him over and over and over again. Because the more you fight the guys that are better than you, the better you're going to become, and you're going to increase in skill level much faster than the guys who just do the regular classes, right? Because you need to force yourself to adapt if you want to win. Now, if you don't have the winner's mentality, it's much harder to do this. But I've always been a more of a very quick learner. I adapt very quickly to my environments. So whenever I need to pick up a skill, I usually pick up quite quickly. So within a couple months of doing that, I managed to outclass all of the new guys in the class, like by fucking a mile, like fucking so much. People thought that I was a super advanced fighter just because, and even though I had only been training for like 4 or 5 months, people were like, you actually are quite good. Like, and I was like, yeah, but I don't feel good. Like, I don't, like, there are people that are fucking 10 times better than I am. So like, obviously I have still like stuff to do. And by the simple fact that I surrounded myself with those people that were much, much better than me, they felt like they needed to downplay their skills at the start. And so they taught me a bunch of stuff while we were fighting. And that helped me understand a bunch of stuff, not only for fighting and to learn how to fight better and to defend myself and to attack, but also in all the different other areas of my life. I started doing the same thing. I started surrounding myself with people in business that were doing much better than I was. I surrounded myself with people that were running businesses that were much more successful than mine. I surrounded myself with people that were much more experienced in the skills of providing a service to those businesses. I surrounded myself with people and put myself in the environments where growth was inevitable. That is the easiest path you can take. Now, it is not going to be the easiest, but it is going to be, in the long run, the best path. Because in the long run, if you put yourself constantly, consistently on the path of other people that are better than you are, then in order to succeed, you need to beat them. You need to be better than them. So by always seeing what other people do all the time, you can pick up on things. That's what I've noticed. It's like, when you're at school, right? And I don't know if everybody that is watching this video has went to school, but I'm guessing most of you have. When you go to school, there's always two different types of students. There's always the students that seem to know everything all the time at all times, never make a single mistake. And there are the people that always fuck it up, or always get a bad grade, or always do shit. And the biggest difference between the two of them isn't actually that one of them was born with talent and the other one wasn't. It's actually that the guys who keep succeeding over and over is because they've practiced for more time, more repetitions than the guys who haven't. You don't see what they do at home. Maybe they have like extremely strict parents and they have to work their ass off, otherwise their parents beat them up or like give them like the fucking belt or whatever. If you don't get an A+, you're getting kicked out of the house. Could be that, you know? So they decide to grind their ass off, work their ass off in studying in order to please their parents. Otherwise, repercussions are going to happen, consequences for their actions. So at the end of the day, you have to think for yourself, okay, which student am I currently? If I want to start a business, if I want to become better at martial arts, if I want to become better at working, if I want to become better at getting paid, where are you right now? Are you the kind of student that doesn't fucking know what he's doing and every single time he tries he fails? Or are you the student that is already making quite a good amount of progress and getting good results? Because if you're the first type, not really getting any results, not really getting anything you want out of life, then in that case, you're going to have to sit down and think for yourself. What do I need to study? What do I need to do? What are the actions I need to take in order to become the person that is always succeeding all the time? All the people you see online that have gotten overnight success, you haven't seen the years and years and years of training that they've put into getting better at this skill. You don't know what their home environment is like. You don't have the same one they do. So obviously, if you had a more different environment, you would probably adapt much quicker like they did. The human mind is quite astonishing sometimes because it can adapt to such excruciating, painful places, but also stay the same in the face of utter despair. It's like the two vast, completely direct extreme opposites. And you really need to think for yourself. What do you want? Who do you want to be known as? Who do you want to be known as? What have you done? Do you want people to know you because you are the guy who did something? Or do you want to be known as the guy who did nothing? Sat on his ass all day? Because at the end of the day, you can say a bunch of stuff, but if you don't do anything, nothing matters. So, what is the easiest path to getting better? I think it lies within your environment and the actions you take within that environment. And so you need to think for yourself right this moment by watching this video. What are the things you're missing? What are the things you're putting off? What are the things you should be doing that you know are going to move the needle further faster? If you want to make a bunch of money, you can ask yourself this kind of question. What is the action I can take right now that is going to help me make more money than I've made ever last month, last week, last year? What is the action I can do right now? What is the thing I can do right now that is going to help me make more money than I did last month, last year, last week, whatever? And then think for yourself for a second and think, okay, actually, I should have been doing this, or maybe I should have been doing that. And you'll find something. It's going to be different for everybody, so I can't really define it for you. But you can define it for yourself. You have the power in your own brain to choose and to do things. Okay? You're not limited by anything. I was having a chat with this waiter yesterday. Went to a coffee shop, different coffee shop than I usually go to, and I was dressed quite well, quite like what I am right now. And he looked at me and he went, "Oh, you were working on your laptop right there, and you seem so focused. Like how do you get so focused? Like, what do you do for work?" And I told him, I do business and I get business for other businesses. And he told me "Oh, that's interesting. So what, do you do like private equity?" And I said, "No, not really, no. What I do is I help businesses get more business. So I get more clients, get more sales, get more money." And he said "Oh, okay, that's interesting. So kind of B2B then." So I said, "Yeah, that's more accurate. But honestly, it really depends. I can't just pick and choose whoever I want to be with, but I restrict myself. I don't want to just work with anybody, okay?" And he said, "Oh, okay, that's interesting. And he asked me one singular question that I wanted to tie back into this video, this topic, as to improving yourself, is how long have you been doing this for? And I said, oh, well, it's not much actually, but I've been working on this for like at least 4 years so far, like almost 5 years. And 4 years doesn't seem like a lot, but when you actually think about it, there are people back in the day at the ages of 16 or even 13 that would become men and enter the professions of men. We don't really do that anymore today, which is quite sad, because it makes everybody that is younger for a longer time. So I told them, yeah, you know, it's not that impressive actually, because I've only been working for like 4 years so far. And of course, you could say like I present myself in a good way, but I really just do this for myself. Like, I don't actually care. Like, I don't actually care what other people think of me. I just do it for myself because it's fun, it's cool, it feels good to do. And it feels like I'm building something bigger than myself, which is the one thing you should take out of improving yourself. Whenever you seek to improve oneself, you should always look at what is the thing that I could do right now that could lead to greater results in the future for myself. And often the answer is not going to be that obvious, or it's going to be tied to something hard to do, or something complicated, or something you feel uncomfortable doing, right? And so it's actually quite easy at the end of the day to just do that over and over and over and over again. Because you basically just have to tell your mind to shut the fuck up and do as you say. And then you just do it. And then you just get things done, just one at a time. Instead of looking at everything as one massive problem. Oh, I need to get better. I've got this to do, 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 this to do. Then in that case you look at, okay, I need to do this, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, which is much smaller than this fucking giant problem, right? So you look at one step at a time. And so by him, this waiter guy, asking me this question, it made me pause and realize, actually, you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense, because in a very short period of time, you can actually become such a more greater, better individual by just consistently putting in actions every single day and never taking a day off. That's basically what I've done over the past 4 years, and honestly, it feels like I've been working for like 10 years. But that's just because I've invested 365 days times 4, if not a bit more than that. So, I want you to finish this video and think for yourself on these actions to take. Okay, what can I do right now that is going to help me either make more money, improve my skills, or succeed in the goal I've chosen? Because those are the 3 things that just matter the most right now as a young man on your way up. If you're not really sure what to do, you should find out and pick something first to go for, and then maybe along the way you'll find something more interesting. Maybe along the way it's going to change. Same thing happened to me. So started with a pretty generic broad goal, and now I'm at a point where it's completely changed, completely different. It's much more detailed, much more specific, much more vivid in my mind. So yes, I think this is what matters most. So take out a pen and paper and write those down. Ask yourself these questions. Go back through the video to check them out if you don't remember what I said. And with that said, I appreciate every single one of you guys watching until the end of the video. And as per usual, like, comment, subscribe. And I post every single day, so if this is the kind of content you want to watch, feel free to let me know in the comments and stick around for daily uploads. And with that said, I will see you in the next one. See ya.